Hey guys, it's Nailbiter, and I'm doing some more World of Tanks here. This is another ace tanker round that I had, this one with the JagdPz IV, which is the tier 6 German tank destroyer. And it's a round I had here on mines, and I ended up getting 7 kills, so it turns out to be a pretty good round, and it probably is the best one that I've had with the JagdPz. Not that I've had very many. I think this tank is pretty widely considered to be not very good, and rightly so. I think its gun is definitely lacking a little bit, especially compared to other tier 6 tank destroyers. And I imagine it was much worse when this tank used to see tier 9s like tier 6s used to pretty regularly, because I think the pen is only around, I want to say 130, maybe 140, and the damage is like 220 or something. So when you think about some of the guns that the other tier 6 tank destroyers get, just for example, I'm playing the RLV-39 right now, and that tank gets, I'm not even using the top gun, and it gets a gun that has 160 pen, 300 damage, which is, granted the reload rate is slower, but it makes a big difference when you're when you're playing. Obviously, being a German tank, the aim time and reload rate or the aim time and accuracy is really good, and the reload rate is also pretty good on this gun. But I just think, I think when you compare it to other tank destroyers in particular, it doesn't really hold up very well, in my opinion. So this is a round on mines, obviously, which is a pretty good map. I think it's probably one of the ones I like better, which is funny considering it's one of the oldest maps that's that's been around or been in this game as far as I know. And the spot I'm in right now is a pretty popular spot for tank destroyers. This is, if I'm on this side, I'm in a tank destroyer. Particularly lower tier tank destroyers, I think this is a pretty popular place to go. With higher tier tank destroyers, I think you can lead the charge a little bit more, particularly if you have pretty good armor. But pretty much none of these lower tier tank destroyers, with maybe the exception of the British tank destroyers, none of them really have very strong armor. So I mean, I will get bounces occasionally in this tank, but it's not enough to really rely on anything. So I tend to like to hang back, which is, I think what people generally do in these lower tier tank destroyers. So I haven't really done too much so far in this round. I've been trying to take some pot shots at some of these guys in the center, and I get a nice little shot here in that Hellcat. It was it's pretty rare to expect a shot like that to hit, but actually, I mean, I get a couple of nice shots in this game. This gun is pretty accurate, so that is a plus, I think. And I get kind of annoyed here as that shot on the M4 takes him down to 1 hit point, and it was pretty obvious that he was doing the whole premium round derp thing, which is, I mean, you see a ton of people do that now. And I take quite a few shots at him that I would think, or I would have liked to have hit, and just miss a lot. So now I start to get a couple of kills as these guys start to push a little bit, and I track that KV-1S there as he's like halfway down the hill. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that, somebody get tracked like at a really weird position like that, but he gets stuck on the side of the hill, and makes it an easy target for me to hit him in the top of the turret. And so here, I mean, we've actually been losing for most of this round, and there I bounce off the side. I mean, I guess it might have hit the side of the mantlet of his gun, but I was kind of annoyed that shot bounced off that M4. But my team's been losing for most of this round. We're kind of down by 1 or 2 tanks, and are able to kind of, or this me and this SU-12244 back here are kind of able to take out some of the enemy tanks that have already been damaged by our teammates, and kind of get us back in this round somewhat. So at this point, I figure it's probably worth pushing up. I'm still trying to see if I can maybe get another shot on somebody, and but I eventually decide it's probably better to just move up and try to support the teammates that we have left. And one thing I do want to also mention about this tank, I don't think I've talked about it yet, but it has a actually really good traverse rate. I would probably say it has one of the better traverse rates out of any tank destroyer in this game, and that's actually pretty nice. It's a pretty mobile TD for the most part. I mean, it's speed-wise it's not great, but it's not really that bad either. And the traverse is actually pretty nice to have. I think that makes it a little more fun to play maybe. And with that fast aim time and the good accuracy, you can definitely switch targets and kind of you know, it doesn't take that long to really move from target to target. So I think in that regard it is nice. And the camo rating isn't too bad as well. As you can see, I've got a camo net on there as well, which I tend to do. I tend to try to do that for most of the TDs, you know, tier 6 and beyond, I'd say, for the most part. And so here I'm trying to finally chase down this M4, and I'm not sure why that Hellcat decided to just go straight in front of him, considering the fact that even probably without the premium round, he probably could have one-shotted that that Hellcat. I'm actually not even sure if I'm assuming he's using premium rounds, but you know, I could very well be wrong about that. I just kind of assumed that since it's a tier 7 round and, you know, the M4 gets 4 kills, so you know, not that I can blame it for doing that. A lot of people do that. I've done it a few times myself when I get pissed off at Matchmaker or something. It's a bit of a way to reduce your rage. But anyway, so it's still a pretty close round. I mean, it was a pretty close round in general over the whole course of the round. And here I'm just trying to decide what position I want to get into to support the 122.44, which is pushed up on the other side there. And I know that SU, and there's the enemy SU 122.44. I knew he was somewhere in that area, so I was trying to get in a good position where I could shoot him in the side if he got spotted, and there it works out pretty well. And then this VK, he just happened to spot here. He's just sitting in the corner, and just drop down behind him and finish him off. So anyway, that's just about the end of the round. I finished off with 7 kills, which I think is pretty good for this tank. You know, it's generally, I never really found it very easy to do really well with this tank, so I was pretty happy with this round. And I ace tanker, as I said before, although I don't even get at 1000 XP, so that just gives you an idea of how difficult, I guess, it is to do really well with this tank. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.